I'm not more smart than him.
That's not the right sentence. You're not more smart, you're smarter.
Tiger.
You are more smart. That's not good English.
Oh, you're Tiger. You are more smart than him.
No good English.
I heard the name.
Let Natalie speak.
Tiger.
Let Tiger speak.
Where did you get Natalie from?
Okay, now,
I said it first.
let her speak. Okay, she's a woman. I know you say she can't speak in the church. Let her speak.
But you're a
We're not
Muslim.
in the church.
That's the point. They don't need to. That's the point. You're not in the church. They don't need to.
Wait, I'll do it once. I'll do it once.
Finish on the slide done.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
This is the argument I used. I said there are 3 types of existence. The first one is an impossible existence. The second one is a possible existence. The third one is a necessary existence.
Okay.
So I break this down for you so you understand. So I say an impossible existence is to have 2 opposite things. For example, can we have a triangle square? As a shape?
As a shape by itself.
Yeah.
Nah, not really.
Good. So my argument is the following. That is an impossible existence. Meaning, you cannot have a triangle square. This is an impossible existence.
Okay, but what does this have to do with the Trinity though? When it speaks about the person of Jesus, how do you put this into the person of
I'll come
Jesus?
to that. So when he says no, I'm like, okay, good, because that makes sense, because that shows that you cannot have 2 opposites.
Okay.
Infinite, finite.
Okay.
Black, white, triangle, square.
Okay.
Opposites. Good. Then I said we've done 3 existence. Now we've got rid of 1. We've got 2 left. Possible existence. Now me and you are possible existence. Meaning what? We could have exist or not exist. I could be born with 1 arm, no arm. I could be any other way. So we are dependent. So we in the universe, there are things that depend on something else for their existence. You, me, our Earth, the Sun, the orbit, the gravitational force. They rely on other things for its own dependency. Good. So we call those dependent beings.
Okay.
So dependent, and also my definition of dependency is that it's composed of pieces, and it can be any other way. Okay. Now my argument is the following: is the universe dependent or independent?
The universe is dependent.
Good. So me and you, because we believe it's in God, we will say the universe is dependent.
Okay.
So this argument I usually use with atheists, not with you guys, because you guys believe in God. But I'm trying to make a point here. Now the question I have is the following, sister. If the universe is dependent, it depends on what?
God.
That is independent.
Okay.
Do you agree he's independent?
Yeah.
Good. Do you agree he's all powerful?
Yeah.
Do you agree he's all knowing?
Yeah.
Good. Perfect. So now what we're saying is the following. That being that is independent, that is necessary, that is not composed of pieces and cannot be any other way, he is the one that has created everything.
Okay.
Now, we're saying you can't have a independent dependent being, correct?
You can, because Allah is dependent.
Paul said.
What's dependent?
Allah depends on His creation.
Okay, so can you tell me where it says it depends on his creation?
I mean, how would He create a son or a daughter? According to your Quran.
So, no, I'm saying you said that he depends on the
creation.
Yeah, as in He
where
would.
does it say that?
It's dependent on His creation because Allah says, "How can I have a child if I don't have a mate?" Meaning that He's dependent on a mate to have a child.
So
That's an argument for those people who believe that.
It doesn't matter. He didn't say.
There's a limitation. Yeah, Allah has a limitation because He cannot have a son. He cannot have a child except He has a wife. Therefore, He can depend on another to achieve something that He cannot get by Himself alone.
I say that, I'm just speaking out of thin air. He gave them an argument which is not something that they asked. They basically said Allah has a son. Allah's response to that was, how can I have a mate? How can I have a child if I don't have a mate? Nobody asked Allah whether He needs a mate to be able to create a child. Allah gave that response, which means for Him, He's responding and saying, why would I have a child when there's no mate for me to proceed a child with?
That's my point. So
Allah is dependent.
No, He's showing His independence.
No, He's dependent.
Let me say how. Sister, I'm telling you, does Allah depend on what for His existence? I'm talking about His existence.
Not for His existence. He's not dependent.
What that's what I'm talking about.
He's dependent on His attributes as well.
How?
Because His attributes are not Allah, right?
Okay.
Allah's attributes are not Him. Allah's attributes are uncreated.
Are you merciful?
Huh?
Are you merciful?
Am I merciful? Well, my mercy would be dependent on something else.
Are you merciful?
Am I merciful? Dependent on something else. It depends on the person.
No, but are you merciful? I'm saying, are you merciful?
I don't know. It depends.
You're not merciful.
I mean,
are you loving? Are you loving? Are you married?
I'm loving.
Are you married?
I'm loving towards.
Do you love your husband?
I'm not married.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Do you have loving?
Yeah, I do have loving for other people.
Okay. Where's Tiger the love?
Where's Tiger the Love?
Yeah, Tiger the Love.
I mean, I'm right here. But again, love is an action though. Love is an action. Love is something that you do to others.
No, really?
Yeah.
No, show me.
Love is something.
Coming to know that Allah has a limitation, that He is dependent on a woman to have a son. He cannot have a son except he has a woman. He ran away from the topic. Let's continue.
It's something you do to
Show
others.
me that love exists.
I love you. I love you. I love you. Are you guys others?
I can't see it.
Are you guys others? Yes. So that's the thing. It's intangible. You can't see it. When you do it, it's an action.
Thank you. You said when I
Well,
said
you're dependent. You have to be dependent on
when
other
I said
people to show it.
where is love the tiger, you said I'm here.
I said me, I'm here, but my love, the way you see my love is with other people, so you have to be dependent on others.
So the question I asked is the following. I said, you said his attributes. It depends on his attributes. I said, can you have a dependent, independent being?
Yes, because Allah is dependent on His attributes.
You remember at the beginning you said that there are things that are impossible existence, like a triangle square, like a dependent, independent, like a black and white.
I never said a dependent,
It's on camera,
independent.
they can rewind it. You said.
Guys, did you guys hear me say there's no
It's on
such thing
camera.
as a dependent, independent?
That's what he said.
That's what you said. I
And you
said,
agreed.
no, I didn't. You asked me, is there a dependent, independent? And I said, yes, Allah. That was the first thing that came out of my mouth.
No, I'm going to the beginning.
No, in the beginning, you said that there are things that are impossible. I was listening to you,
Sister,
but independent wasn't one of
sister,
them.
Can you have a knowledgeable, ignorant person?
No,
Why not?
because if they have knowledge, then they're not ignorant. Actually,
See?
no. Actually, you
the Trinity
can.
kicks in.
Actually,
The Trinity kicks in.
Actually, you can. No. Let's be real. You can be knowledgeable and you can be ignorant on other things.
No, not other things.
No,
all
you
knowing
can't.
and fully ignorant.
Okay, see now you're saying all things.
yes.
Okay, if you're all knowledgeable, then you can't be ignorant.
Oh, is it? Okay. So that's
So what? You want to go into the argument of Jesus?
no,
No, the hour.
no. My point is this. Remember in the beginning I said there are impossible existence.
Okay, but what does this have to do with?
Let me tell you
what
what.
does this have to do with the
Because
Trinity?
when I told you about the triangle square, they're two opposites. Triangle has 3 sides, square has 4 sides.
Okay.
Black is black, white is white.
Here's-
Good.
I've got a question
You
for
cannot say, if I said, what color is the bus? It's a black, white
I've got a
color.
question for you.
Before you come to the question,
Uh-huh.
you just demonstrated to me the following. This is the reason why you cannot have a dependent, independent being. They are
But I
two
mean,
opposites.
Allah is a dependent, independent being. That's why I told you.
Sister,
I know.
please, I've been banging
Wait,
this
but
Bible
I
right
just want one. I just want to ask one question, please.
Dependent and independent are two
I wanna
opposites.
ask one question. I wanna ask one question. So you said the thing about knowledge. Is it a necessary, essential for a human being to lack knowledge?
No, say that again.
Is it an essential property of a human being to lack knowledge?
Yeah.
So a human being who has all knowledge is no longer a human being?
No, it can't be all knowledgeable. Are you all
So
knowledgeable?
a human
Do you
being
know anyone
can't
that's
be all knowledgeable?
No, of course not. Do you know
So
anyone that's all
they can't have all knowledge
No.
on things?
No.
Why?
Of course they can't.
So
That's why-
somebody
why
that's
they're
read
dependent.
somebody that's read things and they've
cannot.
now gained all the knowledge.
They will die.
They would die. Who
before they
says
read
that?
it, because there's so many books they cannot read.
Okay, so let's say we have.
Not
But
let's say.
either way, if there was a possibility,
That's where they're
if
dependent.
if there's a possibility of an individual that knows all things,
There isn't. You're
would they?
talking hypothetical.
Okay, yes, the same way
you know how long
Allah
it will take
speaks.
you?
Allah also speaks in hypotheticals. You don't have a problem with
Allah is
that.
the one who created the
It
universe.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So deal with.
okay.
Wait, just deal with the
All right.
argument.
I'm a pink
just
rhino,
deal
I live
with-
in Pluto.
I know that's fine. That's fine.
Let's just go with the argument.
I mean that's what you said. If you're a pink rhino, high pink rhino.
I'm a pink rhino in Pluto.
Okay, that's fine. High
I'm not
pink
even talking
rhino.
from now.
I know,
Do you accept that?
but I'm saying, could you answer my question?
You accept me being
But-
a pink rhino?
I mean, if you say you're a pink rhino, then you're a pink rhino. Who am I to tell you you're not a pink rhino? Can you answer my question? My question is, if there was a human being that knew everything, would they stop being a human being?
It doesn't exist.
If there was, would they stop being a human being?
Look, that's why they are dependent.
Can you answer again? It's
There
the
is
same
no
way.
evidence.
It's the same way Allah said. It's the same way Allah told Muhammad.
Guess what?
Hold on. It's the same way Allah told Muhammad that if he doubts anything that he says, he should go to the people of the book. But you guys say that that's a hypothetical. So I'm allowed to use hypotheticals as well. So now, no, it's not you. I was giving it to the guy in the background. I said it's a.
One second. Would you not say? You're talking about. Let's not talk about. Let's talk about Jesus.
I know, but I want you to.
No.
I want you haven't answered my question.
I am. You said
So
a
it's
man
just a
who
yes
knows
or no.
everything.
It's a yes or no
Is
question.
Jesus all knowing?
He is, but you have to answer my question.
Did you know the hour?
He did know the hour.
Yeah?
Could you answer my question?
Okay.
Could you answer my question
So
first?
how do you know the hour?
Could you answer my question?
How do you know the hour?
Could you answer my question? I'll answer your question if you answer my question. I'll answer your question if you answer
There
my
is no
question.
human being that
I
can know
will.
everything.
No, I'm telling you. So that person. So if there was,
There is no if.
if there was,
There is no if.
if there was,
can't say
have you seen everybody that lives on this planet?
No.
You haven't seen everybody.
But I know
that
there are
lives
more
on this
books on this earth than there are human beings.
How do you
And
know
there
that?
one human. Of course there is. There's 7 billion human beings, and
Okay.
there are more books than.
Okay, no, but you're speaking hypothetical. You don't know
No,
that.
I'm not. Of course I know that.
Okay, show me.
Are you telling me?
How many books are there around the world? Oh, now you're looking at sources.
Yes.
So you have to Google. You have to Google that information.
No ketchup.
I just want my question answered.
Drugs don't make any bank like it.
I just want my question answered. If you could answer it. I know, but he wouldn't. He wouldn't.
There is 129 million.
That's millions.
No.
130 million books. It's millions. No, it doesn't say trillion. It says millions. Okay. So thank you. You have to search that.
129 million books. There are 7 billion people.
Okay, so there's more people than books.
There are more people than books.
Okay.
So one person, for them to read 129 million books, they would die.
How do you know that? How do you know that? It doesn't matter. I've seen people that have read 3 books in one day. Imagine you spend your whole life reading books. You can read it. Let me show you. Hold on. Let me see. We're searching information.
Sister,
Hold on.
don't do it.
Let's do this.
Don't do it. Don't do it, sister. Write 3 books times 100 years.
Go back to the question about
3 books a day, yeah?
Hold on.
I'll do the math for you. I'll do the math for you.
basic philosophy.
100 years times by 365 days is 36,500 days. If one person read how many books a day? How many books a day? 3. No, let's make it 5. It's 182,000.
Regardless of
If they read 5 books
Wait,
a
how
day,
many years was that by?
100 years. Okay, my point is
No,
Yeah, but either way, I asked
It's just or no? It's just or no?
But you didn't answer my question.
did.
No, you didn't.
You said if there was a man who had all the knowledge,
Yeah,
he
would
discovered
he?
kind of all the knowledge.
Okay, no, but you said he can't have all the knowledge. That's not the question I asked you. No, but that's not the question I asked you.
129,000 books.
But that's not the question I asked
You
you.
said he has to be the all-knowing. To be the all-knowing, you need to read
Okay, no,
this book.
but you
Am I the
don't-
all-knowing? What about DNA? DNA is composed of information. There is more information in
But you're not
the
answering my
DNA than are
question.
books.
It's just a yes or no.
It's
It's
yes or
just
no.
a yes or no.
It's yes or no.
It's
No,
just a
no,
yes or no.
no.
So
There
you,
is
so
no
if
human
there was,
being.
no, I didn't ask
And
you if
even the
there
boy
is.
Jesus did not know.
I didn't ask you if there is. I asked you if there was a human being that was all-knowing, would he stop being a human being? That's all I asked you. Would he stop being a human being?
You're talking hypothetically.
If there was a human being,
I don't-
would he stop being a human being? Would he stop being a human being?
If he's the all-knowing, he has an attribute of God.
Would he stop being a human being?
If he's the all-knowing, he has an
Would
attribute
he
of God.
stop being a human being? Simple
It doesn't
question.
exist. Is that saying how many days of the week?
It's
How many
fine.
days of the week?
We'll deal with this.
How many days of the week?
We'll deal with this. Hold on.
Is Jesus the all-knowing? She said yes.
Yeah.
Did he know the hour?
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Nobody knows the hour about him? Nobody knows the hour about him?
He spoke the word.
Nobody knows the hour about him?
The word was talking about declaring.
Nobody knows the hour about
It
him?
was talking about declaring.
Angels of heaven?
It was talking about declaring.
heaven.
It was talking about declaring.
Not the Son.
But it's talking about declaring. It's talking about the one that declares.
Not the Father.
It's the one that declares. Let me show you something.
That's why when I say independent being,
Wait, hold on.
knowing
Wait,
or
wait,
knowing,
wait.
not knowing.
What's the scripture?
You see what I mean, guys? When it goes to Trinity, it goes out the window.
Matthew 11:27.
Ali doesn't care about prayer. He loves the money. He's a salesman.
No, it's gone. Okay, see you love. Bye. Get there
So you
safely.
see,
Yeah.
see what I mean, guys? Like the
No,
Trinity.
you don't see nothing. Because
Logic
I haven't
goes out
answered
the
your
window.
question. Your logic goes out the window. You know why logic? You know why logic goes out the window for you? You know why logic goes out the window for you? Because logic defeated your argument and it said actually actually no. You went out the window. He defeated your argument. You walked away with a gift. He defeated your argument because he showed you that you can't. He showed you. I'm literally answering. I'm answering the question.
Tell me how he did that.
He defeated you because he showed you that within the Trinitarian paradigm, right, these two natures are under one person. So when you're talking about the one person will represent the whole square that you brought, and then within that one square that you brought, there are multiple shapes that can be in that one person. He never told you that these two mix. Neither does he tell you that they come together. He tells you that the one person has two natures. They are united by the one person. That's the only thing. So they're not mixing. They are under the one person, which you didn't deal with that argument.
Can black and white unite?
Can black and white unite? Yes.
Colour black and white can unite, yeah? What colour do you call that?
I mean, it'll turn grey.
You understand that he's
But these are, okay, look. Can you and your wife unite together?
Not the way you think we do.
No, but I asked you, do you unite?
Not the way we do.
You and your wife don't unite? You don't unite?
Not the way you do things.
Do you unite?
Like we're two separate beings.
No, wait. What way is going through my head?
We're two human beings.
What way is going through my head right now?
Because we have two distinct characteristics and coming together.
Do you and your wife unite? Is the question I asked you.
In marriage, yes.
So you unite in marriage? Do you mix? Do you mix?
What do you mean by that?
Do you mix?
No.
Do you and your wife? Okay, so you and your wife can unite without mixing. That's the point. Finish off.
This has been the dilemma of so many people. How Jesus Christ is God, being the Father and the Son at the same time. Now this is it. God is spirit, and the word of God which exists in the Father is also spirit. But when this word of God came out of God and became flesh, it became the temple or the body in which God lived. The God that lives in it is the Spirit, and this Spirit is called the Father, and the body is called the Son. Now, even according to Jewish tradition, it is not in the power or in the position of the Son to declare the date of his marriage, but in the power of the Father. So Jesus Christ, being the Son and the body, it is not in his position to declare the hour of his coming, but in the power of the Spirit, which is the Father. And now, won't you agree with me that though your spirit gives the instruction and your body perform the task, that both your spirit and your body are all you? Will you disagree with this? Therefore, Jesus Christ and the Father are one. The spirit and the body, because the body belongs to God. It is his body. It is him.